What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Okay, I'm gonna holler at the people. Come, what's up, Ali Masterpiece? Okay. Gemini Boo, what's happening? You know what I mean? To all the fellas, I might not actually shout you out, but don't trip. Don't let that shit sidetrack you. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the women need acknowledgement. So don't trip. Allowing the room to build up. We had 100 and something people. You know what I'm saying? We get up to about 250. We'll start the build. I appreciate the love. They go to gifts. Gratitude. You got to send more than them, Mila. I ain't never sent you one goddamn gift now. I ain't never sent you one treasure, Mila. Don't do me like that. I ain't a nigga that just send one. That's disrespectful. One treasure? Oh, man, you know me. You know me. I'm hitting you off. Yeah. One treasure is disrespectful to host with relationships. You know, you and I both know damn near, like, let's not play them games. I'm not asking you for nothing. I'm just letting you know the bigger etiquette. Exactly, and that's how we do. You know what I'm saying? As long as you know, I know. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Other people in the room don't know, so they send 1 or 2 beans. You know what I'm saying? They send, but we don't do that over here. Y'all know that. We don't rock like that over here. We don't do that over here. I appreciate it. There you go. You know what I'm saying? Get the thing rocking, get it popping. Damn, I ain't even think about the hours. I'm probably behind on my hours. I don't even go live no more like that. Come drop some luxury cars. Shit, you drop some luxury cars. I got you. They only gave me like 3 shields on the rebate though. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, I thought it was at 80%. I got 200,000, 20,000 motherfucking beans. If it was 80%, then god damn, how the fuck they only give me 3 shields? That's why this rebate shit don't add up. Shit don't make sense. You know what I mean? No, I'm not about to talk about it, Amelia. Not coming up. Already seen the little jump in the car. No. You can talk from the comments. I am not trying to get into that right now. Please. No. I am not about to do it. Find some place else to do it. King ain't about to go. I'm not about to sit there and talk about all of that. I just asked you a simple question. That's it. You can talk. No, you didn't get it till next month. Okay, then let that be. We ain't going to talk too much. All right, we're going to let that be then. Maybe that's from before. Who knows? All right, that's it. So now we can go on. If you guys are coming up in the live right now, this live is going to have a lot to do with Islam. You know what I'm saying? This live has a lot to do with Islam. Okay, we're going to see. And in regards to this live having everything to do with Islam, I want everybody in the room to know that I'm not trying to deceive you. I'm not trying to stop you from believing in something. I'm not trying to hurt you. Appreciate the love, Mila. I'm not trying to come into your life and disrupt it, but I'm trying to give you more information so that when people try to indoctrinate you, you can question it. You can question it. See, if you can't question indoctrination, then at the end of the day, you're very uneducated. Now that's deep. If you can't question indoctrination, then you would become very uneducated. You see what I'm saying? So in regards to everything, I'm trying to give y'all a whole new understanding to this thing called Islam. Now, I discovered some information by doing some research last night, and when I rose up, the Quran, if you break that down, the Quran is of the Qurayshites, the children of Qori. A lot of people never even actually looked into that. This was pre-Islamic history or her story. You understand what I'm saying? And what Muhammad did was he came in and destroyed that. So now you don't even understand that there was actually a goddess that predate Islam that the people actually worshiped. Even the Kaaba was the black womb. The Kaaba at Mecca, that had to deal with the black womb. So now that you go more into your studies and you start to discover this, it kind of gets a smile on your face because somewhere along the line, you know something was missing with this. But we're going to go over a little things today, man. Appreciate everybody coming in the room. We finna go over little things today, man. We finna get straight into the build, man. How y'all doing, man? How's everybody doing? Let's get into this shit, man. Y'all good? Matter of fact, what I can do, you know what I'm saying? I'll do that a little later. You know what I'm saying? When y'all get a chance, check King Knowledge out on Spotify, King Knowledge. I haven't posted in a minute, but I'm about to recently update some things on YouTube. Come check me out. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, y'all already know I'm always giving you the heat. Check out my timeline. Now check it out. Let's get into this shit. If you got any questions about this shit, make sure you let me know. It says the West is on 5 distinct collision courses with Islam. Now follow me. I want you guys to ask questions. And like always, if I'm discussing a topic, if you have anybody over here that would like to challenge me on this topic, please bring them through. If you have anybody over here that would like to challenge me on these topics that I actually, present to you, or somebody wants to say, he don't know what he's talking about, he lying, because you got a lot of people that say I ain't got no knowledge. It's understandable. If you don't have no knowledge, that means you don't know nothing, right? So, okay, let's just say that I have information or outformation to give you. I don't need any knowledge. You know what I'm saying? King outformation. How about that? I don't know what else to tell. But all I know, if the shit that I'm saying to you can't be refuted, because if you research it, you find out the same shit that I found out. It's just that your mind was too blank for you to actually go research because there was nothing in there. You don't know what to research. So you leave the researching up to me. And that's why I bring it back to you. And that's why I get compensated. That's why people gift me. But people don't understand that concept. They don't understand why King Knowledge gets gifted and they don't. You don't have any substance. You're not doing anything on the back end to try to get these people either entertained or get these people's mind to be stimulated enough so that they can look at you as if you're valuable or worthy to get gifted. So it's always a manipulation or a deception process in regards to this. And it shouldn't be that way, but that's the way that it is. So in regards to me bringing you this information, make sure that you look out and compensate me if you go and research and find out that if it's true or not. If it matches up, compensate, just like you would do a professor, just like you would do somebody that's giving you information or a lawyer consulting you about the charges of the crime, whatever it may be. Substance is involved in this conversation. Muslim immigrants' ghettos could disrupt half of the major cities in Europe. U.S. troops have been in a line of ancient hatreds in Bosnia, war threats in the biblical land smack of fire drills for Armageddon. The suppression of oil prices to 25 years low strikes at Muslim economies from Nigeria to Indonesia, and financial colonialism is a provocation. What it's saying is war is at the brink. War is continuously going on due to religion still. The enforcement of Islam on other countries and other lands is literally causing destructions for the same countries and lands that's enforcing Islam. The Islamic world is no longer somewhere else. Instead, Chicago, with its 50 mosques and nearly 500,000 Muslims, is a part of the Islamic world. And you guys don't understand that. You guys can go to Atlanta airport and see all of these motherfuckers with these turbans on their head or these nun-looking outfits that the women wear. You can go in all the gas stations. You can go in the hotels. You can go all over this goddamn country, and Islam is everywhere. How and why? I'm an 80s baby. When I grew up, we couldn't find Islam nowhere. All we saw was the Nation of Islam, but them motherfuckers wasn't real Muslims. They was bow-tie wearing niggas with bean pies. Now we see some Middle Eastern Muslims coming over here to America, and people are not even questioning this shit. We just watching them saturate our land. I seen 2 children yesterday. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, and they had the little garbs on. The little Muslim shit where it covers the face and shit. They were little children. I said, this can't be allowed. This can't be allowed. This is not an Islamic country. But at the end of the day, they do whatever they want and they turn whatever they want into whatever they want because the people don't stand up. The people never say anything. The people just let the shit be. It is what it is. War is a blessing for the world and for all nations. It is God who incites man to fight and to kill. And this is what the Quran says. The Quran says this. I'm going to read it again. It says, war is a blessing for the world and for the nations. So what they're doing is they're literally aggravating war. Like they're literally provocating war. They're literally bringing about war and saying war is good. It says war is a blessing for the world and for nations. It says it is God who incites man to fight and to kill. I appreciate the gifts. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Mila in here throwing gifts. If you in here, I suggest you throw gifts too. To all the other people that's sitting here watching and learning, please. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to ask you, compensate. Don't just come in here and take this information and run with it and then regurgitate it like the rest of these other motherfuckers. They come in my room and they listen to me and they get put up on game and then they start their own live and then they start to spit the shit that I was spitting. And it's like, damn, that's fine. There's nothing new under the sun. This information don't belong to me. But all I said is you give homage to a nigga that's articulately spitting this shit to the point where you're able to comprehend. That's all. I'm a walking book. So let's get back into it. The Quran says once again, I'm going to say it again. The Quran says once again, war is a blessing for the world and for all nations. It is God who incites man to fight and to kill. Fight until all corruption and all rebellion has ceased. This is what it says in the Quran. The wars the prophet led against the infidels were a blessing for all humanity. Imagine that we soon will win the war. That will not be enough, for corruption and resistance to Islam will still exist. See, a lot of you guys don't understand that Barack Hussein Obama, that wasn't his real name. His real name was Barry Soetoro. I mean, they told you. They even made a goddamn Netflix movie about the nigga called Barry. They changed his name to Barack Hussein Obama to actually, you know what I'm saying, propagate or apply to the Middle Eastern people so he can go over there and make exchanges, so he can get in bed with them and make them do what he wanted to do. But you see this guy, he was a puppet. This is what they use. They use people as puppets to get their agenda across. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I'm going to read this back to you so that you guys understand. Now listen, it says the Quran says war until victory. The Quran don't have nothing to do with love and peace. So when these men come up to you and say, Assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you, salaikum salam, they don't mean that shit. You're not really supposed to be loving in Islam. Islam is a war religion. But these people try to seduce you and try to motherfucker manipulate you to get you to try to love. But Muhammad didn't love nobody. Even in the Christian Bible, God didn't love nobody but his only son. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, when you guys look at it, stop giving over to this love thing when everything is war in these religious scripts. It's like you want the scripts to be holy because they programmed your mind that this is a holy book. Take that holy out of this shit. Take the program out of this shit and go and read the shit. There's nothing holy about these religious books. Nothing. The mullahs will corrupt talk who say that all that is contrary to the teachings of the Quran are unworthy of Islam. Thanks to God, our young people are now to the limits of their mean, putting God's commandments into actions. They know that to kill the unbeliever is one of man's greatest missions. Can you imagine? Can you actually imagine a book that you subscribe to in regards to killing unbelievers? So if you don't believe in me and Mila's relationship, then I gotta kill you. And she has to kill you. This is what they say in their script. If you don't believe in the Muhammad, which was a pedophile that raped a 6-year-old or a 9-year-old, then I'm supposed to die. You're supposed to die. If you don't accept this Muhammad, if you don't accept Islam, then we're supposed to die. Now, this is not an attack against Islam. This is me questioning Islam. And when you question Islam, Muslims get upset. Am I lying? Everybody in the room knows what I'm talking about. If you have any questions for any of these Islamic people on the app, go ask them. Anytime King Knowledge questions these religions, they get upset. But this is my forte because I don't want you guys to get manipulated and deceived. I'm trying to bring logic back and reasoning back. I'm trying to give you your mind back. But if you don't question shit, there's no way that you can come out of this shit. So I'm questioning shit for you. I'm asking you these questions. Even some of the questions that you might not have the answers to, at least when they arise again, you can be able to question just like me. Well, King Knowledge said this. Well, I heard this. And then these people have to answer. And then you use your common sense. And if they can't get you to comprehend, then throw that shit out the window. It should be easy. The Quran demands that we fight the unbelievers and promises. If there are 20 amongst you, you will vanquish 200. If 100, you will vanquish 1,000 of them. This is in their books. This is a war religion. This is why they get so mad at King Knowledge. This is why they get so pissed off at King Knowledge. Since Islam is the world's fastest growing religion, through conversation but mostly through reproduction, there is a tremendous need to address this subject, which, because of crazed Islamic fanatics, strikes fear in the hearts of most non-Muslims. First of all, if we were to take a body count, Islam would prove less bloodthirsty than Christianity. Nevertheless, this ideology represents one of the most repressive and unappealing that humankind has yet come up with, because we all know that Islam is an oppression of women. No matter how you want to look at it, it literally opens the door to have sex with younger girls due to the fact that Muhammad took a 6-year-old as his wife. So if you accept Muhammad, then you have to accept pedophilia. This is the main destruction of Islam. If you accept Muhammad, you have to accept pedophilia. There's no way around it. Now, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to sit there and cause a rift. I'm trying to enlighten you. I'm trying to let you know what's going on. I'm trying to give you the knowledge so that you can take, so you don't have to actually, be placed in an ignorant form to the point where you succumb to this bullshit that they call Islam. It's bullshit. And I'm going to break it down today. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to break it down today. You guys kicked for saying that in the room? Exactly. They don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. There are about 2 million Muslims in the world. You know what I'm saying? About 2 million Muslims in the world. And I'm not going to say that the Muslims are bad people, but their doctrine tells them to kill unbelievers. Just like Christianity tells you not to be yoked to unbelievers. See, in order to get somebody to actually be controlled, you have to separate them from the ones that are not controlled. So if you got people that can't be controlled over here, let's just say you got people that can't be controlled. You cannot actually mix them with the people that are able to be controlled. You remember the movie Divergent? There's a perfect movie in regards to this. The one that doesn't fear cannot be around the ones that fear, because you will fuck it up. So in regards to it, this is why they want Muslims around Muslims, Christians around Christians, Jews around Jews, so that the doctrine doesn't have them questioning. They need them in complete obedience. And that's what Christianity is. That's what Islam is. That's what Judaism is. That is what the Abrahamic religions are. They need control. Control is what? Power. So this is the feed. They feeding off of power via control. And they're not controlling your body. They're controlling your mind, which controls your body. They're controlling your thought process. They're controlling laws. See, what they do is they give you religion and then introduce laws. And these laws are able to control you and get you to act under God, according to God. And this is where we go astray. Yes, baby.
I was just calling you back.
Hey, what you think about Key Bear coming over there with you for a little bit? You think so?
With me?
Yeah. Just for like a weekend or something.
A weekend?
All right. I'm going to check into it. Let me call you back. What are you doing up so early?
I get up like this. I don't really like this every day, Dad.
All right, but babe, go take a video of the house so I can see what you guys did.
Okay, I will.
All right. I love you. Get yourself together. Gym time.
Love you, bye.
Bye. Excuse me. Let me see. Who is this? Is it some? Did you still want to say something, Mila?
Oh, I'm up here? How did I get up
No,
here?
you good. You good. Don't even trip.
Hey, y'all.
No, you good. You good. Drop down.
I'm in a meeting. Let me drop down.
I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. I had to get a phone call. Wanted to address that. That's not true. Read the Quran. You know what I'm saying? Listen. I'm not saying anything to anybody to be disrespectful in this moment. Just understand that. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I am literally speaking on the terms of truth. If you can actually object to what I'm saying, don't insult me. Come handle me. You understand what I'm saying? Come up here and tell me. Come up here and literally tell me that I'm wrong and then give a synopsis based off how I'm wrong. Like, let the people know how I'm wrong. This is all that I'm asking people to do, because we're about to go in. Take a seat. Make sure you gift the host. We at 1K. We trying to get to a box quota today. Let's get to that 20K. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, listen, if y'all haven't heard this information, man, take a seat. It's very detrimental to your mind state. I'm not playing with y'all. It's very detrimental, because you're going to come around people that is going to try to trick you into joining things. And if you don't have the knowledge of it and you don't have the defense of it, then you might just succumb to it. It's very strong because you feel like you're living in a moral way. But you have to really go into the religion and see where it came from, the origin of it, where it started from, how it breaks down. You know what I mean? So let's get into this. Let's get into this. All right. Now check it out. Check it out. Now listen to me. I'm about to skip a couple things for you. Most futurists and visionaries would like to see this planet pry itself free of religions, especially myself, especially those that are stuck in the dark ages. Indeed, to those who enjoy the ultimate freedom of expression. Those prophecies are chilling because Islam is a theocracy with little room of individuality, not to mention that it utterly degenerates the female aspect of creation. Islam is an attack on the female aspect of creation. And this is what they don't want you women to know. This is what they don't want you women to know, that everything was copied from women. Everything was copied from you women. You guys were the first mind that encased this planet. Everything was copied from you. See, you guys think that women were walking around like apes and dumbasses and didn't have any type of intellect and logic and reasoning. No, that's what they made you think, like a woman wasn't shit. But how the fuck can you create a man that is shit if you wasn't shit? That makes no sense. Bear with me. The repression of the female is actually ironic when one considers the roots of Islam. I'm going to say it again. The repression of the female is actually ironic when one considers the roots of Islam. But it is not expected in a world that for the past several thousand years have done everything within its power to subjugate women simply because they are physically weaker than men, a characteristic shared with the apes and other lesser beasts. While some may claim that this subjugation and enslavement of women is a cultural tradition rather than a religious one, it matters not. For it comes hand in hand with religions which teach that there is some separate outer space God who is inclusively male. And this is what they do to you. They make an outer space God so that this God thing goes on and 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 on. So you have this blank picture in your head about what really God really is, right? So people are going to continue to think that God is above. You can't see him. You can't talk to him. You can't hear from him. He's a spirit. He's something unknown. And then they continue to go on with this lie because you can't put your finger on really what God is. So because it's a speculation, it continues the conversation. And if the conversation continues, there is no period at the end of it. And therefore, the next generation gets controlled by the same God that was created for our generation. Bars. In Islam, the God is interpreted through the minds of the Muslims as being an Arab or an Arab or a Persian man. And each and every one of you know this. Muhammad is looked at as having a red beard, light skin, freckles, white skin. This is what they put the picture of Muhammad. And then you have some people that will not tell you the truth about this. They will lie. They will tell you a complete lie and say that that's not what it is. That's not true. But at the end of the day, bro, give me a picture of, go to an Arab, go to a Persian, go to the people that really practice Islam and ask them the origin or the genetic makeup or the biological structure of this man that we call Muhammad. In Islam, the God is interpreted through the minds of Muslims as being an Arab or a Persian man, as opposed to the Jewish man of the Judeo-Christian ideology. Of course, the racist interpretation of the divine is absolute nonsense, yet in their supreme arrogance, many individuals would like the entire world to believe that it's true. And nobody questions. So we're going to ask today, what are the roots of Islam? What are the roots of Islam? Now, I'm not, like I said, I'm not attacking. I'm literally asking questions, confusing shit with words. Isn't that what the Bible does, Empath Lilith? Doesn't the Bible confuse shit with words? Doesn't the Quran confuse shit with words? So if I'm confusing shit with words and you can't comprehend it, it must be a blockage in your cerebellum that you need to be removed. Stop drinking so much fluoride. Go get you some motherfucking alkaline water. Clear that blockage so that you can get downloads that I'm actually giving to you. If you can't do that, then I don't know what else to tell you. Find another room. Thank you, Ink Bars, for being able to comprehend my intellectual properties. Typically, instead of searching for the truth about this tale, proponents have turned into a political competition. Check it out. It is obviously built upon the Judeo-Christian tradition. This is the roots of Islam, built upon Christianity. See, a lot of you guys don't understand that when you're looking at Islam, it literally speaks about Jesus more than it does Muhammad. Why? Because it is built off of Christianity. And who is the author of Christianity? Catholicism. See, what a lot of people don't really understand is Catholicism is the mother. That is the mother of all religions. You see what I'm talking about? That's why they worship the mother, the Virgin Mary, the Black Madonna. That is the mother. That is the source. You can't go higher than that. This is why they give control to the world via Catholicism. You guys all understand that. You see what I'm talking about. So you got Catholicism, and Catholicism creates Christianity. This is why in Catholicism, there are 72 to 82 books in their Bible, opposed to Christianity, which is 66. So Catholicism would have to do with the mother, and Christianity would have to do with the son. You see what I'm saying? So now we're dealing with the earth, Wicca, witchcraft, and then we'll go over to Christianity. We're dealing with the sun. The almighty sun, the bright morning star, Jesus Christ being the sun, the 12 disciples, the 12 zodiacs, the 12 astrology symbols, the sun. You see how it works? The mother and the son, the darkness and the light. This is why in Islam is a woman's religion. A lot of you guys don't really understand that Islam came from the goddesses. Islam came from the priestesses. See, before there was any priest, there were priestesses. Priestesses predate priest. You understand what I'm saying? Priestesses predate priest. So you guys got to be able to understand that ALLAT was literally changed to Allah. And this is why I go back to the beginning when we speak about this right here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to get into this shit. But a lot of you guys got to understand, remember I told you that Sarah and Abraham in the Bible wasn't a story about marriage. It was a story about Abraham literally succumbing and taking over the matriarch, which was Sarah. Abraham took over the matriarch, which was Sarah. Sarah was never Abraham's wife. Sarah was a title of nobility. Sarah and queen were synonymous. So this was the hijack of the matriarch, introducing the patriarch and changing the religion from feminine to masculine. A war god was introduced. Prior to that, there was a loving god with the woman, the nature, the natural, the nurturer. Now they flipped it over. Now you have a war god of destruction, sacrifice, power, control. You see how the game is played? You just got to open your eyes a little bit and see it. And then you'll be able to understand it and overstand it. Why do you think that Christianity suppresses women? Telling a woman that she can't speak outside of the household, nor can she speak in the church. Telling a woman that she's a Jezebel, a prostitute, a whore. She's filled up with demons. This is the man's way of thinking in regards to putting down the woman in religion. So let's get back into it. You know what I'm saying? I had to go up. I had to, you know what I'm saying, see something real quick. Now let's look at it. Well, it is obviously built upon the Judeo-Christian tradition, the roots of Islam, but it is also a reaction to said tradition which excluded and vilified various Arab or Arab cultures, like their brothers and sisters. The Semitic Arabs traced their lineage to Abraham, who had sex with Hagar, the Egyptian, producing the Arab race, which was Ishmael or Ishmael. Now listen. While the Jewish contingent interprets this tale to justify its own ideology, Muslims interpret it to fit theirs, claiming that God would make of Ishmael's people a great nation. And this is how they come across, and they start programming you. Typically, instead of searching for the truth about this tale, you have turned it into a political competition. This is why you can't trust these religious books, because you don't know the origin of them. But we're going to get into it. I appreciate y'all coming in the room. Make sure y'all share the live, gift the host. I'm giving y'all intellectual property. I'm literally giving y'all something that you can actually gravitate towards instead of somebody trying to teach you and indoctrinate you. You know what I'm saying? You can gravitate towards this. This is what I'm giving you right now. I appreciate all y'all coming in the room. Appreciate y'all. Gratitude. Let me smoke and talk to the gods. You may think that that's something funny or sarcastic, but that's exactly what you should be doing. You see, in Northern America or Indigenous America or Tamaray or Turtle Island or whatever land that you want to give this land that we standing on, smoking was literally an homage and a connection to our ancestors. This is why the chiefs chiefed. This is why we had pipes, because we understand that we connected through smoking. Even though that you may think that it's bad because the Europeans want to actually tell you that it's bad. Yeah, maybe the tobacco that they actually infiltrated and put it here. But outside of that, we were smokers. This is why they introduced the K2. This is why they introduced crack. This is why they introduced smoking for black people. This is why they took over weed. Because if we are the biggest consumers, right? Let's just say this. If we are the biggest consumers, then why not introduce smoking and dispensary? Because you know we gonna be in that motherfucker. We smoke. Now, I know a lot of y'all don't agree with that shit, but that's what it is. We were here. We were smokers, and we still smoke. But the smoke literally goes up into the ether, which the spirit's attached to. So when you smoke, make sure your thoughts are benevolent. Don't put out evil thoughts when you're smoking. Please keep that in mind. Smoking is powerful. All right. It may not. This is why when you lit incense, you was able to meditate and give out prayer. You was able to give out guidance. You was able to set incense. This is why you lit incense to the queen. Go look up Jeremiah 44. I kid you not. They lit incense and then prostrated and then began to talk to their ancestors or the queen of heaven, because the smoke evaporated into the ether and all is matter. And therefore your message was actually given about. So when you smoke, make sure that you concentrating. Make sure that you're giving out positive thoughts or positive affirmations. Don't just smoke to smoke. Be careful. Those are jewels. The name, now listen, the name meaning, because we're about to go deep into this shit. Now, I want y'all to sit back and realize what I'm saying to you. Remember, I came over here to teach. I came over here to show y'all some shit. I'm not on no messy shit. I ain't trying to go back and forth with no trolls. I'm not trying to get into all of that shit with people. I came over. Now, if my information is false, then come and prove me wrong. That's all that I ask anybody on this app. If I'm giving out false information, if I'm misleading people, if I'm deceiving people, don't tell me that I'm doing that. Come and prove me, correct me, help me. I would love for you to help me so I can get back on the right track. And I appreciate that if you do, because I'm trying to help people get back on the right track by giving them truth. So let's get back into it. Now listen, y'all, pay attention to all the people that I have in the room. The name meaning Father Brahm seems to have been a Semitic version of India's patriarchal god Brahma. I'm going to say it again. The name meaning Father Brahm seems to have been a Semitic version of India's patriarchal god Brahma. He was also the Islamic Abrahma. So now it's breaking down that Islam originates in India from Indian or East Indian or Hindu gods. Listen to, I'm going to read it back to you. The name meaning of Father Brahm seems to have been a Semitic version of India's patriarchal god Brahma. He was also the Islamic Abrahma or Abraham, the founder of Mecca, which was totally a lie. But Islamic legends say Abraham was a late intruder into the shrine of the Kaaba or the Kaaba. He brought it from the priestess of its original goddess. Are y'all following me right now? See, this might not mean shit to people that can't comprehend what I'm saying, but if anybody have studied anything in regards to Islam or Muslims, you will be able to see where I'm coming from. And to all you women, this shit is for you, so that you don't get indoctrinated and brainwashed, knowing that you are the supreme, you are the superiority opposed to the inferiority. I'm going to read it back. I'm going to read it back. The name meaning Father Brahm seems to have been a Semitic version of India's patriarchal god Brahma. So you had Brahma, you had Vishnu, you had Shiva. Remember the three? If you know anything about the Hindu religion, these were the gods. You had Krishna, Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu. And then you had Kali. And when we looking into this shit, I want you guys to be able to understand Father Brahm seems to have been a Semitic version of the India's patriotic god Brahma. He was also Islamic Brahma, founder of Mecca. But Islamic legends say that Abraham or Abraham was a late intruder into the shrine of a Kaaba. He brought it from the priestess of its original goddess, and her name was Sarah. And Sarah and the queen were synonymous names. Sarah meant queen, and queen meant Sarah. Sarah, the queen, was one of the goddess's titles, which became a name of Abraham's biblical wife. Of the Old Testament, writers pretended Sarah's alliance with a Egyptian priest was only a love affair arranged by Abraham for his own profit, which unfortunately presented him as a pimp, as well as would-be murderer of his own son. Because what? God said, sacrifice your son to me, and Abraham took his son, like I said, a would-be murderer, in order to sacrifice this son to God. You know what I think is the Ark of the Covenant? I think it's the Kaaba, and they don't want to tell you guys that. I think it's the Ark of the Covenant is the Kaaba. I think that is a big altar. This is why people go around it. They worship it. I'm just being real with you. If you really think about it, the Ark of the Covenant would be the Kaaba. But they don't let you know that. They probably won't ever tell you that because a lot of people have been miseducated. So we still into it. So Sarah and the queen. See, Abraham and Sarah were never married in the Bible. All that union was Sarah handing over the Kaaba to Abraham for the patriarch to suppress the matriarch. It was woman giving over rulership, or man dominating woman for their rulership. In the tales of Isaac near killing, Abraham assumed the role of sacrificial priest in the Jewish style to wash Jehovah's sacred tree with the blood of the son. Now listen to what I'm saying to you, because it's going to hit deep with you, because there's nothing new under the sun. Now everybody in the room that's paying attention, listen to this. I'm going to say this again. In the tale of Isaac's near killing, Abraham assumed the role of the sacrificial priest. Remember when Abraham was supposed to sacrifice his son to God? Well, Abraham took on the role of the sacrificial priest in the Jewish style to wash Jehovah's sacred trees with the blood of the son. So he was going to kill his son and use the blood to wash the trees of God. It was an ancient custom in the Jewish times. Remember the Dravidians, the Jewish, it was a different type of people at the time. And the custom was to take the blood of your firstborn son, like the Passover, and cleanse. God wanted that sacrifice. But who was this God? See, new gods have been introduced about this time, and they were bloodthirsty gods, and people never want to talk about it. So the best thing to do is keep them secret and hide them while they operate behind the scenes. This is why you see a lot of war and things like that going on, a lot of chaos, a lot of murder, a lot of mayhem, guns here, guns there. This is why you see the things that you see. Now let's get back into it. Now listen, an ancient custom was that. And this is where you get the Passover from. When you're talking about putting the blood of the firstborn son on the door, or putting the blood of a cow or a calf or a sheep over your door so that when God passes through in the night, they don't take your firstborn. This was an ancient custom. Like Christmas, like Easter, like the groundhog, or whatever the case may be. We still do these ancient customs unaware of the shit that we got going on because we're under a program. Jehovah first appeared to Abraham at the sacred oak of Shechem, where Abraham built his altar. Later, Abraham built an altar to the oak god of Mamre at Hebron. Even in the 4th century, Constantine said Abraham home at the oak of Mamre was still a shrine. It is reported that most damnable idols are set up beside it, and that an altar stands hand by hand, and that unclean sacrifices are constantly offered. This is what they're doing. They said they still have this going on right now at this time. And you ask a lot of these religious individuals, and they will tell you that they give homage to Abraham, which is Brahma, which is Hindu, because they don't know the origin and they never try to look into it. This is why education destroys indoctrinations. Now, let's continue to go on. Now, to all the women in here, I want you guys to be able to listen to this, because this is very important to you. Each one teach one. To you women in here, I want you guys to be able to comprehend that you cannot subscribe to no religion but yourself. You are your own religion. If you get up and you drink coffee every day, that is a religion. Just like if you go to church every Sunday. That is something that you do in a constant, repetitive pattern, an habitual pattern. Just understand, you have to start loving yourself and stop loving everything outside of yourself. Start loving the individual or the person or the energy or the voice or the sound or whatever's going on within your being. Not the being itself, not the external. That's why they say, for one who loves the world and gives up his whole soul. What is it? Fall in love with your soul, not in the material. You will never, ever be satisfied. Guaranteed. Now, late Islamic masculinization of the Arabian goddess. Now listen to me, to all the women in the room. Late Islamic masculinization of the Arabian goddess. Her name was what? What was the Arabian goddess prior to Allah? What was the Arabian goddess prior to Allah? Does anybody know? Because it's very powerful when you understand and understand the power of names. Because now you can actually invoke that deity. And you can get help from that deity in the physical. They can assist you. Her name was ALLAT. Thank you, Gemini Boo. All you women need to understand who she was. Her name was ALLAT. Not Allah, but ALLAT. So when you invoke her, always invoke ALLAT. ALLAT. These Muslims can't say nothing with that. They cannot fight me on that. They cannot come to me. They can't say that I'm a lie. They can't interrupt it, because anybody that Al-Uzza or ALLAT, it was the 3 Trinity goddess setup. It was Al-Uzza, or it was ALLAT, or it was Allatu. Allatu, Al-Uzza, or ALLAT. It was the threefold goddesses or priestesses that predated Allah and this whole thing called religion. And you can go back to the Koreshites, which were the children of Kori, which was the goddess. Now, if you guys really want to know the truth, go look it up. Don't believe me, and definitely don't believe some Muhammad-loving prophet motherfucker that practices Islam. Now, this is not disrespectful. This is intelligence versus ignorance. You guys decide which one is which. This is education opposed to indoctrination. You guys make the decision on which one is which. The late Islamic masculinization of the Arabian goddess ALLAT or Allatu, or of the Babylonians, formerly worshipped at the Kaaba in Mecca. See, what a lot of you guys don't know is that Kaaba, that black stone in Mecca, they used to go and worship the female. That's what they did their worship to, for the woman, the female, the goddesses, the priestesses. You guys gotta be able to comprehend what I'm saying to you. If you don't comprehend what I'm saying to you, let me know. If you have questions, let me know. My main thing is to give you a certain type of comprehension so you can leave here battling these people, fighting against these people for trying to actually program you through indoctrination in which somebody else programmed them. Let them know. Blast them. Why do you think that I've been on here consistently for all this time? Because they cannot get to me and my people with this rhetoric. You understand what I'm saying? Thank you, Lioness Queen. Where do you get this information from? I study. I research. When I'm not online, I'm working. Why do you think I'm successful on this app? See, money doesn't make me successful. Comprehension makes me successful. If I can comprehend what I'm reading, and then I can actually play it back to you to the point where it makes sense, and you can actually go and do your research and find out what I told you, then at the end of the day, who can argue with you when their truth can't stand up to your truth? So you cannot sit there and take truth down no matter what. You can hide the truth, but you cannot take it down. You understand what I'm saying? You can cover the truth up, but you cannot destroy the truth no matter what. And you can go back to the truth when you study Mother Nature. Mother Nature is a blueprint that doesn't change. The seasons are still here. The birds are still here. The ants are still here. The trees are still here. The grass is still here. Mother Nature is not changing. That is reality. You're changing. Concepts are changing. Man's creation or whatever the case is changing. But you have to be able to understand that the blueprint is Mother Nature, who doesn't change. She still gives you air. She still provides you water. She still gives you the ability to move around and have mobility within your energy that actually is controlling your molecular structure. Mother Nature is the omnipotent, the omniscient, the omnipresent. Mother Nature is all. You can't go away from her. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to understand is Mother Nature gave the first mind to the black woman who gave the mind to the man. Man is a creation of the creator, which is woman. Man is the creation of the creator, which is woman. That's why man was put here to support women. But man had to control women by lying to them and saying that woman was created from a man's rib to give support to a man. That makes no sense. Why would a woman need to support a man? A man is walking around here by himself. A woman is walking around here with a child. If anybody needs support, it's the person that's taking care of somebody else, not the person that has nothing and nobody to take care of. You see what I'm saying? What is a woman helping a man with? Working on a car? What is a woman helping a man with? Building a house? What is a woman helping a man with? Putting on his shoes? Why does a woman help a man? Common sense will tell you that men go out there and work. Men go out there and get money. Men go out there and find a way to protect women. Men go out there and console women. Men go out there and give an ear to women. Men go out there and do everything to help women, which means that men support women opposed to women supporting men. Now, women support children due to the fact that they're a natural nurturer. A woman supports her son, but once her son becomes a man supports his mother. A man supports his children. A man supports his woman. A man has dependents. And a woman depends on a man. All I'm saying is you guys got to open up your mind. Stop listening to indoctrination and go into your educational mind. All right? So back to what I was saying to you. So it has been shown that the Allah of Islam, okay, was a male transformation of the primitive lunar deity of Arabia. I appreciate you, Vibrant. Thank you, love. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, everybody that's gifting. I appreciate y'all. Gratitude. I'm going to tell you again. It has been shown that the Allah of Islam was a male transformation of the pre-lunar deity of Arabia. Her ancient symbol was the crescent moon. See, this is what y'all don't really understand. They never changed anything. They just said that men are running things. But man is nothing but a copy of the blueprint when it comes to woman. Just like Beisade. Beisade has entered into the room. Beshade is a man, but trying to copy a woman. That's all it is. And this is what they're doing today. They have men continuously trying to copy women. Because men get their definition from women. Even though the one doesn't want to actually understand that, men gets their definition from women. Men are in a constant plagiarism of predestiny. Of prehistory, which is her history. They're in a constant, you know what I'm saying, they try to take over. The takeover, that's all it was. It was the matriarch taking over the patriarch. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Now you have men that want to put on lipstick. They want to be women. You have men that want to sit there and wear dresses. You have men that want to alter their face. You have men that want to add chemicals like estrogen to be more feminine. It's the takeover of women once again because religion is not holding up. So what they're doing is they're implementing a new type of way to take over women, and that's by making men into women. See, they can't suppress women anymore because the women is getting downloaded by the radiation that's coming from the sun. If you guys go back into the past, you would see Annana or Inanna, or you would see the mother Ninti, or you would see a Set, and they all had the sun on top of their head in ancient Egyptian or Babylonian times. Why did they have the sun on top of their head? Because the sun was giving down radiation. The sun was giving down a certain type of energy that was going into your mind that was awakening you. And this is why they have chemtrails. This is why they block out the sky. This is why they block out the sun. The sun is not just some light shining on you, because light is knowledge. It's downloads. A lot of you guys don't even want to understand that when you go outside, this is why they don't want you to go outside. It wasn't for white folks not to go outside. It was for you niggas. This is why when niggas had parties, they made sure that they got around you to stop that shit, and the police was called during COVID. They don't want you to get those downloads. They don't want you to actually go outside, breathe in that air, to actually go into your brain to wake you the fuck up. Light is knowledge. Exactly. That's why they call us Nubians. If you look up the original word of what NU means, it means light. Nubians means light beings. That's why you was given the title Nubians, because your black complexion, your carbonated complexion, your skin absorbs light because there's a light inside you called your solar plexus, which is connected to the solar system. And that light energizes this light, which gives you a super ability of twitch, being able to jump higher, run faster, think quicker. This is why most black babies are born more advanced than other babies. But they have a process that they need to actually occur in order to dumb them down. This is why they're giving vaccines to our children, because they don't want our children to outdo them. This is why they do the things that they do in school. They send black boys to white women, and white women don't like black little boys. See, white women like black cock. They don't like black little boys, because they haven't developed into that yet. So they destroy them when they're little. They tell them that they're dumb. They're in a classroom. They be very mean to them, ill to them. They say bad stuff to them. They make them feel a certain type of way. So when that child comes home, that child is down and it doesn't want to tell his mother, because that's what goes on. I don't want to tell my mother that the teacher just called me dumb. How do you go and do that? Because you don't want to be dumb. You don't want to let your mother know that you're dumb. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we hold that, we suppress that, and we don't understand that that becomes a part of our subconscious. So that's where our inferiority starts. But place us in a school with all of our peers and all of our teachers, and it's a school of morality. It's a school of decency. It's a school of positivity. It's a school of upliftment. Then you will see a lot more black boys succeed. And they will be very smart and they will be very creative, but they don't want that. And that's the reason why the educational system is the way that it is, and it hasn't changed. Why are they still teaching slavery after all of these years in school? Why the fuck do we give a fuck about the Holocaust after all of these years in school? Why hasn't the curriculum changed? Why are they switching up different techniques in regards to how to do math? Who gives a fuck? Why are you changing it so that the parents can't help their children do their homework? We haven't been in school in 20 years. But why would you change the system of doing math when math didn't need to be changed? Math was math. Numbers don't lie, right? But they did that so that the parents, so that the parents would not be able to actually reach the children and help them with their homework. I kid you not. This is why they took cursive out. This is why they do a lot of things. It's called control. Now, you can look at it as negative, or you can see the system and the game that's being played and actually go around the hurdles that they put up for you to fall, to trip over. It's all on you. Allah, the Allah of Islam, was a male transformation of the pre-lunar deity of Arabia. I want you guys all to be able to comprehend that. Allah is nothing but a woman. This is so significant because nobody in Islam will tell you the truth. Allah is nothing but a woman. It's a moon goddess. This is why in Islam you have the crescent moon and the five-pointed star. What does the five-pointed star represent? What does it represent? It represents the woman. It doesn't represent arm, leg, arm, head. That's not what it represents. That's some English black nigga shit. Nation of Islam shit. Allah represents the woman, the five-pointed star. What is the woman? The arm, the leg, the arm, and the head. The man has the penis. And the penis is another leg. It's another arm. It's another point. So when a man stands out and his penis falls down and his arms are stood out, he's got the arm, he's got the head, the arm, the leg, and the penis. He's got 6 stars. The man is the 6-pointed star. The woman is the 5-pointed star. So you got the Vice Lords under Jeff Ford, which was Masonic, because they was hooked up with political figures, and he came out with the 5-pointed star under Islam, and red was his color. The 5-pointed star, red was his color. See, a lot of you guys don't understand that because red was the positivity. Red was the blood. Red was the color. Then you go to the blue side. The blue was the male. That was Larry Hoover, the Jitty folks. A lot of people don't understand because they never went back to overstand. The 6-pointed star and the 5-pointed star were introduced by 2 people that were cool with each other, Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover, when you get into Chicago. Or you can talk about the Stones, exactly. The Black Stones or whatever, you know what I'm saying? The Black Stone Rangers. It was a movement. This is why they was from the land of Shabazz. You understand what I'm saying? And then you go into that and you realize that that came all the way back from who? Queen Sheba. See, they don't want to get into this shit. The shit goes deeper than what you could think because it was all under black studies at the time, and then it turned into gang shit as the drugs infiltrated our community, just like the Crips was community resistance in progress. And then it changed into some drug-infiltrated gang shit where people thought it was cool, and then they glorified this shit in the media to take over the movement. I mean, come on, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't just spitting just to spit. Just go look it up. Go look at it. Division. It's just division. That's it. Division. If you can separate 2, then you have a war. If you can separate 2, then you have a war. It's just division. But if they come together, there is no war. The war is them against you. It's just division. But we get back into this, man. Even through modern Muslims no longer admit that any feminine symbolism whatsoever connected with the holy patriotic of Allah. They will never admit that shit. Ask a Muslim. Ask a Muslim. Was Allah a woman before Allah became Allah a man? And they will all tell you and deny this shit because they're indoctrinated. But if they would go do their research and educate themselves, they will find the same information that most of the true leaders of Islam know. They don't want to tell them. It's a control religion. It's literally the man oppressing the woman in that religion. And that goes for all religions. That's why I get mad at you women who stick up for these niggas that are around here lying to you when they know the truth. They know it. They just lied to you because they can get away with it. You don't know nothing. See, when you don't know nothing, you can go in and get your car fixed and leave that motherfucker, and you have an oil leak and you don't know how I got there. You just think that the car has an oil leak. Nah, you went and got it fixed and they put an oil leak there. It just didn't manifest until a couple weeks later. So now you think it's your fault because you was indoctrinated. You wasn't educated about cars. Go and do your own research before you get into anything. This is why you're in an information age. There is no excuses. Now check it out. All Semites had once a culture of the moon as a supreme power. I'm going to say it again. All Semites had once a culture of the moon as a supreme power. When Muhammad overthrew the old religion of Arabia, he did not dare get rid of the moon cult in a radical manner. Only much later was he powerful enough to forbid prostration before the moon. Before Islamic times, the moon deity was the most prominent object of cults in ancient Arabia. Arab women still insist that the moon is the parent of mankind. Now that's a lot of information right there. They insist that the moon is the parent of mankind. Like they produced mankind on the moon. And then you see it is one small step for man and one giant leap for mankind in regards to going to the moon. You understand what I'm saying? I just want you to think about what I'm saying to you. Just comprehend what I'm saying to you. The Quran comes from Kori. Kori were the Korishites, the children of Kori, and Kori was the goddess, was the priestess. One thing about Africans is they don't have enough intelligence to be able to comprehend the stuff that I'm saying right now. Because they're new to this type of information due to the fact is that Tower of Babel shit. Language has separated us from understanding what they were saying. And it separated them from understanding what we were saying. Now that we're all on one language, they can comprehend, but they can't comprehend the uncomprehendable, if you can understand what I'm saying. Basically, their mind hasn't been tuned in to even, think about what's introduced to them because the words don't match up in their head. When you guys realize that the moon is not a natural element, the moon is an artificial negative spaceship or satellite literally put there to take away, but it's balancing. Whoever created whatever's going on right now in regards to Mother Nature, it's a balance. So the moon is taken away as the sun is giving to. Remember, we're living in a duality. We're living in a duality. It's a negative polarity. This is why the tides literally go back. This is why, it's negative. No matter what, but negative is not bad. Negative and positive need to coexist in order for one to be able to define the other. Now, Chaldeans back to the designation of the ancient capital Ur to be translated as moon worshippers. The Semitic moon god was a special deity and protector of women. Now listen, the Babylonians worshiped the goddess Ishtar, and this is where you get Easter from. I'm going to say it again. Does everybody know where you get Easter from? Do you know why we deal with rabbits on Easter? It is symbolic. Do you realize why we deal with eggs on Easter? Because everybody comes from an egg. Everything comes from an egg. Even an ant comes from an egg. A bee comes from an egg. You come from an egg. We all come from an egg. So when you're dealing with eggs and you're dealing with fertility, you're dealing with Ishtar, which is Easter, which is the moon goddess, which is God, which is life, which is the creator, which is the all be all. So when you celebrating Ishtar or Easter, just understand that you're celebrating life. Hence springtime, when life begins to grow over again. And when is Easter? At the beginning of spring, life. Don't let these people trick you to think that you're doing wrong. It's just that you don't understand it, so you actually believe them. Or to think that you're doing right. Now, I'm breaking it down to you. If you have any questions, just let me know. And I'll see what I can do in regards to showing you the way. If I can't show you the way to it, go find a way for it. I don't have all the questions. And I definitely don't got all the answers. But if I can answer something or send you in the right direction, so be it. But I'm not here to deceive you. I'm not here to manipulate you. I'm here to give you the truth. Now, I ask over and over again, is there anybody that can stand up to this truth that I'm spitting? And I'm pretty sure that that won't actually come to a conclusion, because there's nobody that can actually come over here and say anything in regards to Islam, especially in America, being something of validity when it comes to the original concept being patriotic. Islam was birthed by priestesses. Islam was birthed by goddesses. Islam, original name of the God of Islam is ALLAT, Al-Uzza, Al-Utu. You understand what I'm saying? And if anybody has any questions about that, just come talk to me. Abraham does not come from the biblical sense. Abraham comes from Brahma, which was a Hindu god that they turned to Father Brahma and then put an A in front of it. And now you have Abraham, Abraham. The Hebrew tribes, or rather than ancestors. Now listen, let me go back to that. It says the Babylonians worship the goddess Ishtar, who is identical with the great Arabian goddess and has the Our Lady. So now when you get into Ishtar, Our Lady was equivalent, and this is the Virgin Mary, to Ishtar, or Inanna, or the Black Madonna, or Cleopatra, or Queen Sheba, or Hathor, or Tara, or Nefertiti, or Bast. They're all the same. And black women, you are all the same. You black women in here, indigenous to America, are all the same to everything that I'm speaking of. You're just changing a title, but you're all the same. No matter if you have a different mind frame, can you create a child as a black woman, then you're all the same. If they gave you the same name, how would you not be the same? You black women are all the same. Indigenous American black women all over this country, all over this land, you are all the same. I'm just letting you know in regards to it. You are Ishtar. You are Offset. Remember, you come from a long umbilical cord, a long line of great goddesses that predated you. This is just your time on the timeline to be a goddess. That's it. The Hebrew tribes, or rather than the ancestors, were the latest wave of migrants from Arabia. The cult of their god was associated with Mount Sinai, the mountain of the moon. A lot of you guys don't know about that. Mount Sinai was called the mountain of the moon. The expert assumed that the name Sinai derived from Sin, the name of the Babylonian moon god. In Exodus 3:1, Sinai is called the mountain of the Elohim. This suggests that it has long been sacred. In the Old Testament, which is a collection of a much earlier, often edited writings, the moon appears as a power of good. The moon appears as a power of good. Think about it. This is in the Old Testament if you go and look it up. Deuteronomy 33:4. Or of evil in Psalms 12:16. Traces of ancient moon worship was energetically removed from the text by later editors. And you guys don't know that they have tampered with the Bible, put in what they want to put in, and take out what they want to take out, so you continue to be indoctrinated and not know the full truth. But there was a lot of moon worshipers at the time, and they had the right to actually worship the moon. They knew what was going on. Remember, they went off Mother Nature. You guys go off books written by men. This suggests that it has long been sacred. In the Old Testament, which is a collection of much earlier, often edited writings. You understand what I'm saying? A few remained, however, and can be recognized in the prohibitions of Deuteronomy. The Israelites are warned. They're warned. The Israelites were warned about this. And listen, it says in Deuteronomy 4:19, follow me. And lest thou lift up thine eye upon heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the host of heaven, and be led astray to worship them and serve them. And in 17:3, the punishment of stoning is prescribed for the person who hath gone and served other gods and worshipped them, either the sun or moon or any host of heaven. And this is how they literally indoctrinated you, because they said there was only one God and one God to worship, and it was the God that they gave you, but they actually took out the other gods, which were the natural gods, which were the sun and the moon. Even the birds worship the sun. This is why the birds chirp before the sun comes out. Even your body worship the sun as a man. This is why your penis rises up prior to the sun rising. You don't have no choice but to worship the sun. The body worships the sun. Nature worships the sun. Everything worships the sun. And even at night, you have animals that worship the moon. They howl. Ooh, the owl, the wolves. let's get back to nature. If we start studying nature and stop studying man, then we will find out the real mystery to this shit. But what man has done is given us writings and books and all of this shit for us to study and taking our mind off of Mother Nature, which is the real blueprint of it all. This is where he got the airplane from, by studying a bird. This is where he got the car from, by studying a horse. They even say the car has horsepower. Pay attention. If you want the answers, then go to the origin. Hey, thank you for the love, Lady L. I appreciate y'all looking out for me, man. It's been a long time since I built, but I appreciate y'all coming in the room. You know what I'm saying? Fucking with me, chilling with me. Check out my Spotify. You know what I'm saying? King Knowledge. Y'all can go over there and check me out, man. I'm on there. You got me looking at Mother Nature a very different way. I got it. I got it in tune. No doubt. But it's not that you have to go and do something. It's just that you have to formulate your mind to the concept of the great plan, the blueprint. That's it. You got to watch the blueprint. The blueprint is Mother Nature. Hey, I appreciate you, Lady L. Now listen, this is really for women, but men can come over here and get a true understanding and overstanding about what I'm saying. I'm not trying to bash men, but men have to come to the realization that women predate them. And that shouldn't be something hard to comprehend, especially when our mothers predate us as sons. That's why they call her the mother of God. How could you have the mother of God and then God be a highest supreme deity? It's not possible. If you have the mother of God, then the mother of God is higher than God itself. Comprehension, common sense. You don't need a book to tell you that. Stop letting these people confuse you. Chaos leads to turmoil and misery. You have to order, you have to give order to your mind, but only you can do it. Now check it out. The Kaaba of the Arabs were before the time of Muhammad. The Kaaba of the Arabs were before the time of Muhammad. A temple dedicated to the moon. And the moon was a symbolic of the moon goddess worship. The moon had everything to do with the feminine, remember? But so did the sun, because there was no masculine at the time. So what men had to do was they had to go and take the sun, change that from a feminine deity, make that into a masculine deity so that you can get away from the moon worship. And there they introduced Christianity, which begins sun worship. So it's like, let's get away from the moon worship when the woman and the goddesses was running shit. And now we have to change the polarity of everything and go to the sun worship where the creation, the man, and the God and the war God and the destruction is creating shit. So it was like creation to destruction. And one had to represent each other. So the woman was a manifestation of the moon and the man was a manifestation of the sun. So they say. But you have to remember that the sun's name was what? Solarina. It was feminine. Solarina. And the moon's name was what? Sin. It was man. It was masculine. See, a lot of people don't really understand that. And the earth's name was Tiamat or Gaia. And that also was feminine. Everything was feminine. The water was feminine. The earth was feminine. The air was feminine. Everything was feminine before man came around and tried to actually present a polarity of masculinity when it wasn't. See, masculinity is only an aspect of femininity. It is not the opposite. And this is why people don't understand. This is why I tell you that a man can be what? He can be feminine and masculine due to the X and Y chromosome. He has the woman in him and he has the man in him. He has the Y chromosome and he has the X chromosome. But a woman can only be what? Feminine. A woman cannot be masculine. So when they call you women masculine, break that shit down in an intellectual matter and tell them that you have two X, what makes you even. You got two X chromosomes. Both X stand on two stems. That makes you even. You cannot produce masculinity as a woman. I know some people in here are like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? Think about it. A woman is automatically naturally soft. It's not dealing with masculine and feminine in the mind state. We're dealing with a biological makeup. A woman's chromosome is 2 X chromosomes, what makes it she can only be feminine, because we know that that chromosome is a feminine chromosome that women possess. A woman doesn't have a Y chromosome to make her masculine. Men have a Y chromosome. This is what makes us masculine. This is what makes us tough. This is what makes us hard. This is what makes us go out there and fight through shit and use our physical paralysis. This is what makes us who we are as men. Women don't possess that. They have 2 X chromosomes. So if a woman gets mad, she's just mad. That doesn't make her masculine. If a woman speaks back, she's just speaking back. That doesn't make her masculine. If a woman works, she's just working. That doesn't make her masculine. If a woman talks shit, she's just talking shit. That does not make her masculine. You cannot define a woman if the woman is the definition of all. How can the creation define the creator when the creator literally gave birth to the creation? Men cannot define women. It's impossible. Due to the fact is, we don't have what they have. A handicapped individual cannot define somebody that isn't handicapped. But back to what we was talking about. You know what I mean? Now, somebody said Al-Uzza in the comments. Now, okay, I want you to really... Shrine of the Sacred Stone in Mecca, formerly dedicated to the pre-Islamic temple goddess of Manat. M-A-N-A-T, Manat or Manat. Now listen, there was a shrine of the sacred stone in Mecca. That was the Kaaba. It was a shrine of the sacred stone in Mecca, formerly dedicated to the pre-Islamic. See, if you guys really want to know what's going on, go to the pre-Islamic story. Not history, but story. Her story. See, when you get into the pre-Islamic temple of the goddess of Manat, or ALLAT, or who they would call Allah, and Al-Uzza, the old woman worshipped by Muhammad's tribesmen, the Qurayshites. Remember what I was telling you about the Qurayshites? So before Muhammad changed this whole Islamic thing into a warlike thing, his followers were actually following Qori, which was the goddess. They were called the Qurayshites. You can go look it up yourself. The stone was also called the Kaaba or the Kuba or the Kub, which is the cube, and has been linked with the name Kabbalah or Sybil. This is where it gets deep. This is where it gets deep. The great mother of the gods. When you guys get under, has anybody in the room ever heard of the goddess Sybil? She was the great mother of the gods. Have you guys ever heard of her? There's a goddess that was actually named Sybil or Sabal. It's right there. If you guys haven't heard of her, go look it up. The name is K-Y Bella. K-Y-Bella, K-Y-B-E-L-A, or Sybil, C-Y-B-E-L-E. Go look it up. Go do your research. Kid you not. These are the things that they keep away from you. Why didn't they teach us this? Why didn't they let us know the truth? Because they don't want you women to become empowered, and they don't want the natural order to actually sustain. They don't want women to support men. I mean, they don't want men to support women. This is the whole stop of everything. This is the destruction. They want to do things ass backwards. See, these people go against God, which is nature. Anybody that's going against nature is going against God. There's no way about it. So if you really want to actually stop listening to men, if you really want to stop listening to men, then please, everybody in the room, listen to nature. Listen to nature. You know when a woman is natural, she's connected more to nature. She's outside under the sun. She's got her locks hanging in her yard. She's literally gardening. She's eating healthy. She's getting her body together. She's looking at shit. She's stretching. She's in tune with nature. She can feel it. She knows her feminine attributes. She knows it. They don't want you in that. They don't want you to be connected to that. That's why they give you everything unnatural. Just think about what I'm saying. They give you everything unnatural so that you cannot connect to your natural, you know what I'm saying, nurturing self. This is why everything is external instead of internal. They say what's above, so below, but what about what's without, so within? They don't never tell you about inner space. They only tell you about outer space. They don't want you to know about the inner space that you possess. If you look at this body, you see the outer body, but you don't see what's going on the inner body. You see the outer earth, but you don't see what's going on inside the inner earth. Don't ever allow them to distract you from the real purpose, mission of this thing called life, which can be overstood by actually studying and educating yourself. We don't live in the same time that our forefathers lived in, that our foremothers lived in, that our ancestors lived in. We live in a different time. And in this time, to many, there's no excuse for not knowing. It's all on you. You have the ability to actually study, or you have the ability to listen to somebody that actually got miseducated but means well, but's trying to help you but can't help itself because they don't know the truth. They didn't have all the tools. But now that you're getting in with these, use the tools. Use the tools. The internet is a tool. The search engine is a tool. YouTube is a tool. No matter how many people try to talk about shit, it's tools. People are learning shit and putting it out there for you to know if it's true or if it's false. Don't believe nobody. Always investigate. If they don't have logic, throw it away. If they don't have reasoning, throw it away. If they don't have any evidence, throw it away. Somebody, man, I just got done flying from here to there. Like, man, you took an airplane? Nah, bro, I just flew. You be like, man, show me a motherfucking video of that shit. If they can't show you no evidence that they flew, if there's no logic behind humans flying, if there's no motherfucking reason why like, think about what I'm saying to you. Get rid of the bullshit. Get rid of the bullshit. Now, I can go on and on and on in regards to Allah being ALLAT or Al-Uzza or ALLATU or Sybil, the mother of the gods. But this is pre-Islamic. This is when the woman was ruling shit. But see, these men that actually conform to this indoctrination, they won't allow anybody to teach them or educate them. They rather just continue to follow the bullshit so they can feel good. A lot of people do this shit to feel good. A lot of people do this shit to have a standing in life, to have some type of stability. I'm trying to show you a way in which the truth will always prevail. Nobody can stop what I'm saying to you right now because it's truth. It's a lot of research. And anybody that is in Islam that studies, they will also confirm everything that I'm saying. Pre-Islamic Arabia was dominated by the female-centered clans. Prior to Islam, the woman was in domination. She dominated. Pre-Islamic Arabia was dominated by the female-centered clans. Marriages were matriarchal. Inheritance, matrilineal. Polyandry, it was several husbands to one wife. And that was common. See, a lot of you guys don't really understand that polygamy or a man having concubines or a king or whatever the case may be, that had nothing. They only took that from polyandry with women. Remember, you guys used to see the videos. You guys used to see the movies when the men were all around the woman, walking around, feeding her grapes, massaging her back, fanning her. Remember? You guys saw the movies. They were trying to tell you something, but we couldn't fathom it because the Bible was patriarchy. The world was patriarchy. So we just looked at it and thrown it off. Remember, the woman was sitting there in the chair. She was like in a beach chair with all types of shit around her. One man was fanning her. The other man was feeding her grapes. The other man was massaging her shoulders. And she was instructing men what to do. You go over there and do that. You understand what I'm saying? They catered to the woman. Polyandry. Cleopatra. Exactly. These are names about the rulership of women at the time. So when men took over, they literally stopped that. And then the men began to get concubines. And that was the oppression of women. But prior to that, the women was not oppressing men. Men were just the supporters of women. Now women have become the supporters of men. All the while supporting children, which gives her a burden, which turns into what people call false masculinity. It was several husbands to one wife. It was common. Men lived in their wives' homes. Divorce was initiated by the wife. If she turned her tent to face the east for 3 nights in a row, the husband was dismissed and forbidden to enter the tent again. So that was crazy. If a woman turned her shit, you know what I'm saying, to face a different direction, and she did that for 3 nights, then the husband was dismissed and he was to never see her again. I'm just telling y'all how they switched everything to cater to men and literally oppress you women. And they won't talk about it. They won't speak about it. They won't tell you in no schools. They won't tell you in no religions. This is a well-kept secret that literally was created by secret societies to keep man in control and to keep man in power. Because without it, they would lose everything, because a woman's feeling is that she should be in charge, but her mind is saying that she needs a man to lead her because she's overburdened. But you're not going to find too many single women out here with no children that's saying that they need a man to lead them. For what? Doctrines attributed to Muhammad simply revised the ancient system in favor of men. That's all it did. So they took the doctrines of the pre-Islamic goddesses and how things were and flipped it so that that catered to men instead of women. So instead of polyandry, you got polygamy. Man, you guys don't have to believe nothing that I say. Go do your own research, man. You ain't got to believe King Knowledge. Go and do your own research. Go and do your own research, just like I'm doing right now with y'all. All right? If this shit don't make sense, ask a question. Now, I can go on forever. I can keep going on. It's a lot to this. But I'm going to leave a little bit up for, another time. A Muslim husband can dismiss his wife by saying, I divorced thee 3 times. As in Europe, the change from matriarchy to patriarchy came about only gradually and with much strife. The whole takeover. That's all it was. It was a takeover. It was a change of polarity. And guess what's happening now? The polarity is flipping back over. Men are starting to live with women. Women are starting to talk about polyandry. Religion is starting to decease and woman is coming back into her natural state. They don't want to tell you that. They don't want to let you know that. Pay attention. I'm going to go over to the panel. I got some things to take care of. I haven't ate. I've been building for about 2 hours on this shit. You know what I'm saying? We can go over and talk about it. If anybody in the room would like to debate me, not even that, challenge me. If you had any questions, if you wanted to tell me that I'm wrong, then come over to the room. If you have a Muslim on the app, please tell him to come and see me if he actually wants to talk about this material that I'm writing. And what you can go and tell him is Allah a woman? And is man lying about the origin of Allah? That's it. And I can actually break down to you how Allah is nothing more of a plagiarized ALLAT, Al-Uzza, or Allatu, which was a pre-Islamic goddesses that they took and changed into a masculine deity, a patriarchal deity. I'm not going to debate Visa. The reason why is on this right here, I would destroy him. But I could see that a lot of people need him. And it's not for me to change or challenge him in regards to what he's doing. Because these people that are Islamic, they're disrespectful. When you go against what they have been taught to fight. They have been taught to troll. They have been taught to call you all types of names. They have been taught surface knowledge so they would never be able to get in tune with the shit that I'm saying. You understand? I feel what you're saying in regards to it, but that's not my fight, bro. You understand? That's not my fight. And if you want to bring him over here, me and him can have a conversation and we can go back and forth. I'm not ducking no wreck. I'm just not trying to start no shit. Like I said, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful when I began this build. I'm not trying to start no shit with the man. Do your thing. I'm not trying to start no shit with his followers. Do your thing. All I'm trying to get people is to listen, but go and research. If I'm saying anything that's false, come prove me wrong. If I'm saying anything that's wrong, come prove me wrong. And if Visa would like to say that I'm lying to you or manipulating you or deceiving you, then come prove it. That's it. If you can't prove it, then don't talk down on me. Don't talk about me. Don't sit there and try to slander me. Don't say anything in regards to what I'm saying if you can't prove it. And everything that I'm telling you is proof. Go do your research and you will find out what I'm saying. It's documented. It's there. Just go and do it. I'm going to go over to the panel. I'm going to sit in that motherfucker and chill and chop it up. I got to get myself together. It's about 11 something over where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I got my baby I got to go check on. I got some things I got to do. But yeah, I'm going to go over to the panel. We going to chop it up. You know what I'm saying? I got to get in this. I ain't even took a shower, man. I got up, took my baby to daycare, shit like that. But I got to get my shit together. And if y'all haven't heard, go and check me out on YouTube, man. You know what I'm saying? Go and check me out on YouTube. Let me see. I'm going to play it. Go and check me out on Spotify. You know what I'm saying? Check this out. Check this out. Let me see if I can get into my Spotify. Fuck with y'all. Let me see if I can get into my Spotify to fuck with y'all. Let me see. Hold on a second. Sometimes it don't let me into it. Sometimes it don't let me into it. I ain't even gonna lie. Okay, now we into it. Hold on a second. Hold on. They got one up here. Hold on. All right. Let me see. That was a new one that I just went out. All right, cool. Oh, hold on. Let's see. It ain't really working that good, so don't even trip. We going over to the live. I'll see y'all over there, all right? We going over to the live. Come There we go. There we go. What's happening? What's happening, Coco? What's happening, Ray Ray? What's going on with y'all? What's going on? How y'all doing, man? Y'all all right? Okay.
Good,
Nice to
beautiful,
see y'all just pop
beautiful.
up. Nice to see y'all just pop up, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Sandy? What's good? Byron, I see you.
Nothing.
Byron, if you don't get them African masks up off of there, we don't do that shit. You a little African today, huh? What up, Camille?
Those were
What up,
gifts.
Camille?
I have three. I have a whole, more than three though. They were
Yeah,
gifts.
be careful where you take gifts from, goddamn.
Content.
What's going on,
I,
Chocolate Lady, Zion? What's up, y'all? Ray Ray.
What's
I was
happening? What's
loving that
happening?
deal. That deal was good. Thank you,
I was kind
King.
of a little bit, I was trying to stay on place, but it was more about a lot of you women don't know this. I mean, when do you have time? If you go to work 9 to 5, you got your children to take care of. On the weekends, you have to clean. When do you have time to look at the things that I'm telling you? But it's so very fucking important because what if your child comes and talks about they're a Muslim and you don't have no information about Islam? Then they're going to continue to be a Muslim and allow somebody to penetrate their mind. Then they grow up and start doing certain things of Muslim attributes, you know what I'm saying, or Muslim fuckery. And what can you say? You still don't have nothing to know about it. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you know about how to do your hair, then teach your child about the forces out here trying to succumb them, because your child is literally an open program that people are trying to use to install certain things to influence it to do whatever it wants to do. Like, kid you not, that's what they want. They don't give a fuck about us, y'all. They give a
They
fuck
don't.
about the children. They care about the children. They don't care what we do. They don't care if we make money. They don't care if we get rich. They care about our children, our youth, because they know our youth is going to predate. That's our future.
Right.
Our youth is our future. So why would they care about the past in regards to preparing for their future by controlling the minds of our youth? That's all it boils down to. So this is why you get these teachers and they indoctrinate and pose to educate. We have a problem because the teachers don't even know what they're doing. If you actually, and I'm being real, at school, right? In high school and elementary, you know what I mean? And I think Jan said something about she has a certain type of tincture that she can teach what she wants to teach, but that's not everywhere. That comes with a lot of time, and that comes with a lot of, you know what I'm saying, honor. But you just can't have that. So that means that if you're in a school, you have to teach the curriculum that these Europeans give you. You have to. If you go around it, you will be brought up on charges by the Board of Education or by the school board in regards to you going outside the curriculum. You can't just go up
Right.
in there and do what you want to do in these schools. You're literally indoctrinated to indoctrinate. You're indoctrinated to indoctrinate. And that's what goes on in our school system. But as a mother and as a father, that is by choice. So it is up to you to get knowledge to stop your child from becoming these things that you became. My son, my daughters will not be Muslims. My sibling, not my sibling. My siblings won't become Muslims. My grandmother won't be a Muslim. Even though my grandmother was a Christian, she's not a Christian anymore. That's what I'm saying to you is it's up to you to bring people out of a mental purgatory to the point where they don't know what to do, they don't know where to go, they don't know what to believe. It's up to you in regards to actually being a parent to your child and teaching your child, guiding your child on what's good, what's not good, what's right, what's not right. So you have to enforce a matrix, but you can't enforce a matrix if you're controlled by another person's matrix. You're just giving somebody what somebody gave you. You never took time out to see if it was true. So all I'm saying is when you listen to me, at least you can hear that, okay, I need to investigate this sometime in my life. So if your daughter comes up to you, mama, I met this guy, he's a Muslim, he's a good man, this, that, and the other, then something's going to ring in your head like, wait a minute, baby. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Now, I was taught to understand that Allah is a woman and the man hijacked the religion and basically changed it from a woman or a female or feminine to a male to a man to masculine. So if you really want to know what you're doing and really want to know what you're worshiping, you're really worshiping a woman in disguise of a man. Now that woman will begin to, or that girl will begin to have a different type of superiority, a different level of comprehension, a different understanding. So when she gets down and she prays, she's praying to the mother instead of praying to the father. She's praying to the creator instead of praying to the creation. They did this many times. The ones that wasn't able to practice voodoo had to go to Santeria, had to go to Catholicism. But Catholicism is nothing but elemental deities. So what they did was they personified the elements into deities like Saint Catherine, like Saint Barnabas, like Saint Agnes. That's it. They took the elementals in nature: air, water, fire, earth, carbon, ether, and they made those into personified names. And that's what the Orishas did. That's why Yamaye represents what? What does Yamaye represent? Anybody in the room know in the comments on the panel?
No, I don't know.
Somebody in the comments know. They're going to say it. What does Yamaye represent? Water. Where? Water. Okay. So Yamaye represents water, an element. What does Shango represent? Fire, an element. You see what I'm saying? Then you go down to Ogun, Obatala, Oshun. Oshun represents the sun. You know what I'm saying? Ogun. This is why you had who? Beyonce invoking the sun goddess. Oshun when she was talking about lemonade, but people didn't understand this shit. They didn't know what she was talking about. These people are literally not who you think they are. See, we think we don't know who she is. We don't know who Jay-Z is. We don't know who these people in the spotlight is. They in there for a reason. They're not just regular people that they just put in that motherfucking position. But when you see them, you don't know what's going on because you haven't done your research and you're not in the occult, and the occult is the hidden knowledge that y'all need to know about. That's it. Y'all need to know about it or else you're going to stay a peasant. The royalty has knowledge of royalty. Peasants don't have no knowledge at all. They're indoctrinated. The royalty is educated. The difference between indoctrination and education is the difference between royalty and peasantry. No other way around it. There's nothing you can do with it. So when I'm breaking this shit down to y'all in a way in which you understand, man, I need y'all to be able to comprehend, like, there's nothing that comes before that woman when we're talking about life And when you're dealing with life, you have to have a man and a woman in regards to it, because a man is supposed to be the manifestation of a woman, and a woman is supposed to be the manifester of men. So now you're dealing with the manifester, which is the creator, and the manifestation, which is the creation. And this is why they tell you in the New Testament that the world is fucked up, because the creator is literally worshiping the creation. So if women continue to worship men, and this is not a fucking, you know what I'm saying, a degrading of men, if you guys continue to worship men, then you will never rise to your authority. You will never rise to your power. You will never be placed back on your seat. Never. Sorry, you can't worship something, even. But you women are authority figures because you're a mother. A mother is an authority figure. Am I right or wrong?
Right.
Exactly. A mother
Automatically.
is an authority figure. God is an authority figure. You have natural power within your womb and the ability to create, and nobody can tell you anything different. They just want to. But that's men telling you. That's men, because all we got is man and woman. All we got is girls and boys. It is men telling you this. And you guys listen to your own creation opposed to listen to your divine creative mother, which is Mother Nature. Mother Nature ain't never told you to wear no weave.
Mm-hmm.
Mother Nature never told you to put no wig on, makeup on, and all of this other shit. Mother Nature didn't tell you to do none of that. You were beautiful as you were created as a woman. Soft. You had features that were different than men. You were attractive. You were wise. But you know, they created shows on television to actually bring you down, to put women in demonic positions, like The Exorcist, and on down the line. All the movies project women in an evil way. Why? Why do all the movies project you guys in an evil way? How many movies can we name that the woman was evil, that the woman was doing evil shit? Just think about all the Tyler Perry movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it goes in your subconscious. So you talking about people building up certain, why is society like this? Why can black man and black woman get along? Because subconsciously, black men and black women are watching the same thing. We gravitate towards our people. When you listen to music, you listen to black music. When you're watching movies, you're watching black movies. You know what I'm saying? You're interested in black concepts, black life. You're interested in black power, black supremacy. You're interested in the black things because it gives you a feeling when you see black people doing these things. You're not interested in white things. That's invisible. That's not your lifestyle. That's not your culture. You're not interested in Mexican things or other people's things. That's not you. You don't identify with that. So they know that you identify with what they put out, because the people that they actually using to put out is really the people that's actually controlling you. Where do you think you get your slang from? You think when you say, yo, that shit is fleet, nigga? Hey, man, dead ass. You think that shit comes from a nigga that just created a word? No, that shit comes from these dumb motherfuckers that sit in these booths, these white people, giving it to these entertainers to make you say it. Your culture is coming from white folks. Your language is coming from white folks. White folks literally sit around and come up with shit for you to do. You niggas is robots and don't even see it. Why do you think a nigga that can sit there and say a dumb diddy dumb and a dumb diddy do can get paid $1 million while your ass go to work from a 9 to 5 and can't even pay your bills? Because you ain't got no influence over the population to get them controlled. So they ain't giving you shit. But if you decide that you want to influence them and sell your soul, which is selling your light, a lot of people, you got to break down what a soul is. When you're talking about selling your soul, you selling your light. Your soul is light. Soul is energy. Solar system, the sun. The sun is soul. So you're basically selling your light. You're giving over your light. So now you become dark and you begin to do dark shit. Just like all the celebrities that you see. They do dark shit. I'm talking about all the way down into the R&B celebrities, all the way down into the basketball celebrities, all the way down into John Morant, who sold his soul in order to actually put the image out that he's walking around with a gun. That's it. Selling your soul, giving up your life. That's all. And they do it. And you guys think that they just doing this shit. Man, people are not just doing what you think they're doing in that industry. They're doing what they're told to do. It's just that motherfuckers are keep repeating the shit and keep getting controlled by the shit to the point where they can't wake up to the goddamn game. Ain't no, if you played ball before, ain't no nigga going around here with no motherfucking gun in the club. How come we never seen it before? If you work for a Fortune 500 company, you're not going to be on video snorting coke. Just like a nigga that gets suspended from the NBA and is allowed to come back is not going to be in the club again showing a gun. And then you have AI. Then you have a technology era, a technological era that we're living in, to the point where you can make somebody look like Bill Cosby and everybody will think that that's Bill Cosby, and Bill Cosby then got locked up. Everybody thinks that that's R. Kelly, and R. Kelly then got locked up, and everybody believes everything that they say in regards to R. Kelly, because you under the impression that there is no clones, there is no face masks, there is no people with doppelgangers. You guys are not thinking. Genius doesn't do ungenius-like things. Like, I'm being real. You can't have a man that creates a song called "Keep It On the Down," let's go have on a baby. Just all of this shit. I'm talking about song after song, billboard after billboard, hit after hit, dominated the charts. He was the next biggest thing next to Michael Jackson. And how did they bring down Michael Jackson? The same way they brought down R. Kelly, same way they brought down Bill Cosby, same way they brought down Mike Tyson, and all the black people still literally listen to white folks lie. Stop listening to them lie. All of a sudden, the T.I. is keeping motherfuckers in the basement with Tiny. Stop listening to people lie. Black folks do black shit. When black folks get money, we buy shit. We ain't got time to keeping people in basements and shit like we some motherfucking Saw motherfucking movie. Our mentalities are different. Don't let these people trick you throughout the media with these flabbergasted ass, bullshit ass, inaccurate ass stories. I guarantee they would never ever told you about Tina Turner dying if she wasn't married to a white man. You would have never known shit about Nina Simone if she wasn't married to a white man. Whoopi Goldberg wouldn't be Whoopi Goldberg if she wasn't married to a white man. And Maya Angelou wouldn't have been Maya Angelou if she wasn't married to 3 white men. Don't let these people fool y'all. Don't let them fool y'all. Pay attention. What's going on? Don't let them fool y'all. Shit is a game, man. Shit is a game. This game is life. And at the end of the day, they've been playing the same thing for a long time. But you have to be under the, you got to study the past to know what they're going to do. Study that shit. They've been doing the same thing. Pay your tithes to Caesar. So they created a church for you to go up in there and pay 10% to God. All roads lead back to Rome. Why do you think that there's a football and basketball stadium in every goddamn city in America damn near? Give the people bread and circus and they'll never rebel. So they promote this shit all over the television, and all the men are weak because they want to watch sports and UFC and football and basketball and the game, and they want to drink their beer. They ain't doing shit. What the fuck they gonna stop? Their life is comfortable, so these people continue to rule due to comfortability. Take the TV down and watch what happens. Have an EMP on America and watch what happens. Kill the power in America and watch what happens. There would be no more bread and circus. There would be no more calmness. There would be no more comfortability. And then that's when all hell would break loose. And they know that. They understand that. That's why they do everything in their power to continue to pay these athletes all the money so that they don't stop playing. But you telling me the NBA is 90% black folks, 95% black people, and none of these black men that get paid can go and create another NBA? Get the fuck out of here. If y'all don't think that this shit is rigged, if y'all don't think that this shit is a game, you got to be out of your fucking mind. Think about it. When you watch the NBA finals, you see all niggas on that motherfucker. How is it all niggas playing together and none of these niggas can actually combine together and actually, you know what I'm saying, do their thing together? How? Why? Because they can't. They're not allowed to. They're not allowed to do it. And I'm just telling y'all, this is why Steph Curry can make $200 million but owns nothing. LeBron James owns nothing, but he can get $1 billion contract. What business does LeBron James own? Why would a nigga that's making all of this money go and buy Blaze Pizza? Like, nigga, you're a billionaire. Why wouldn't you go and buy a stock company? Why wouldn't you go and get with Goldman Sachs? Why wouldn't you go and do a financial advisory? Why wouldn't you create a Fortune 500 company? Why in the fuck would you sit there and buy a Blaze Pizza? Why would Rick Ross buy a fucking Wingstop? Like, this is the type of shit that they trying to get you on the level of. These people are controlled. They don't have no money. Their money is controlled. They want you to think that they got money. They have the ability to go and get whatever they want material. So they can go and buy $1 billion house, but they can't do shit to help their people. I guarantee LeBron can't come in his country and give $1 million. Come in Cleveland, Ohio, and give $1 million giveaway. I can guarantee that. I can guarantee you that right now. Excuse me. I can guarantee Michael Jordan can't go nowhere and give away Jordans for free. I can guarantee you that these people can't do what the fuck they want to do, and when they try to, I just want y'all to think about that. Now, what we gonna do is we gonna make you broke so you can't never fuck with us again because you done got too much money that we gave you. So because we gave you too much money and you thought you can fuck with us, what we gonna do is put this false charge against you. We know it's false, but you're gonna have to fight your way out of it. And then we gonna make sure that you gotta get the best lawyers that's gonna charge you all the money. So by the end we gonna tie this shit up for 2 years in litigation so that you gotta keep paying the lawyers. So when you get done with this shit, your ass gonna be in bankruptcy and now you can't fuck with us. How in the fuck do these niggas think they gonna be able to do something with these white folks when the white folks are paying these niggas not to do something to them? You cannot get ahead, black folks, when you're actually using white people on your currency. If you think that you niggas gonna become in power while you motherfuckers spend a Benjamin Franklin and you spend a goddamn motherfucking goddamn George Washington, you gotta be nuts. How the fuck black people think they gonna be coming in power when they're spending somebody else's currency with somebody else's face on it? That ain't no damn power. That's ignorance. Our niggas better wake up. You can't do nothing unless you do it yourself. Your own money, your own army, your own place, your own nation, your own land, your own language, your own style, your own dance, your own talk, your own walk. You can't do shit until you got your own shit. And that's in real life. A man can't be a man unless he got his own shit. That's in real life. A nation can't be a nation unless they got their own shit. That's in real life. But niggas is crying and asking for shit. They want shit. You can't get shit asking for shit. You fuckers talking about you ain't got a job. It's like niggas love being a slave. Niggas love being a slave. They promote it. They tell you, I'm a slave. Nigga, I'm a better slave than you. I'm on the plantation and you ain't. And they go around this motherfucker bragging about that shit. King Knowledge, you don't work. You goddamn right, motherfucker. I ain't no slave. Fuck you mean? I ain't no motherfucking slave. I'm just being real with y'all, and I ain't going against none of y'all in this room, but I'm telling you the truth. I ain't no motherfucking slave. Talking about work. Work and slavery are the same. Especially when you ain't getting paid enough to be a man. What's the difference between work and slavery if these niggas don't pay you just enough to motherfucking get some food and get some gas, but you damn near making your bills, paying your rent, taking care of your children? Ain't got, man, get the fuck out of here. No little nigga in this motherfucker need to bragging about having a job, driving a truck. I don't want to hear that shit. That shit don't mean shit to me. If you broke your whole life, you was a dead nigga your whole life. That means that you couldn't do nothing for nobody your whole life. You wasted your life. I'd rather die at 20 trying to become somebody than to live to 80 and end up a nobody. That's called wasting time. I'm just being real with y'all. Just being 100 with y'all. I appreciate y'all listening to me. But who am I now? I am a fucking son of God. I never knew it. I am my mother's son, and mother and God are synonymous. I am her light of the world. I don't focus on anybody else but me. What am I doing in this life to represent my God, my mother? Am I shining like she created me to shine? Therefore, she called me her son? Or am I dimming? Am I darkness? Therefore, I put out the light that she gave me. Who am I? I am my mother's son. I am the soul that my mother gave me when she put me into this world. That's who I am. I don't have to be no money getting nigga. I don't gotta be no hustling getting nigga. I ain't gotta be no gangsta ass nigga. All I gotta do is continue to understand who my mother is, was, and will always be, which is my God. She gave me my approval. She told me that I was, approved. She said, son, you are the realest nigga that I have ever met in my life. And coming from her, I was just a creation, of a of the creator. So if she gave me that approval, you think that a nigga could come over here and actually tell me something different? You think that I give a fuck about what a nigga say? My mother told me this. And not only that, I walk around with all of this arrogance and confidence because my grandmother backed her up and said, I see the same thing that you see, daughter. I see the realest nigga that I've ever met in my entire life after 92 years on this planet being in that sun right there. So you can't tell me shit about me. I did what I came to do. I impressed the gods. I impressed the gods. I got approval from the gods. So what can somebody else sit here and tell me? I'm an asshole, I'm a dickhead, I'm a punk, I'm a fat man? I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Did you hear what the God said that I was? For me to listen to you? You can't fuck with me. Go and get approval from your gods. And then come back and watch how everybody else sound like a whole bunch of bullshit and insecure fuckery. That's all they are. They gave me the green light. They gave me the clarification. They gave me the ability to die. And I know y'all don't understand it. But once you get approved by the gods, what the fuck you gotta live for? That means that you did something with your life. Now it's time to move on. So in my afterlife that I'm living right now, all I can do is smile. I don't have to worry about life situations, life struggles, life complications, life scenarios. I ain't got to worry about that shit. All I got to do, I got approved by the gods. I've already been approved. I ain't got to worry about none of this other shit that's coming. I don't have to worry about the future, what's going to happen. I was approved by the gods. I'm good. Let me switch over real quick. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. My phone was dying. It was on 1%, so I had to switch over. But yeah, man, I'll be going on these mental rants, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I appreciate y'all listening to me, you know what I mean? But I really feel the way that I'm telling you. I really feel this way. I don't just talk it. I really feel this way. I don't have to lie to nobody no more. For what? I ain't got to tell you no lie for what? I ain't there is a lot of things that I don't have to do that I once did that I felt like I had to do, but that was at that time. At this time in my life, I don't really have to be apologetic, but I'm still working on myself. So that's where the apologies come from. Maybe not listening correctly, maybe not using discernment. So by me apologizing is saying that I need to go back and rethink. I need to go back and relook at my actions. I need to go back and restudy. I need to go back and look at myself. That's where the apology comes from, because maybe I'm talking a little too much. Maybe I claimed to somebody to be something that they wasn't. Maybe I assumed. And that's not something that I should be doing. Who knows? But if I'm wrong in my mind, I'm going to give you an apology. Because I'm wrong in my mind. And somebody else's mind, I might be right. But in my mind is the only mind that matters. Just like your mind is the only mind that matters. My mind is the only mind that matters. And this is why I tell people I don't give a fuck about your feelings, because my feelings are the only feelings that matter. I cannot work on your feelings. You have to do that. I cannot carry your feelings. You have to do that. There's nothing that I can do with your feelings. If you allow me to disrupt your feelings, that's on you. Just as much as I allow you to fuck with my feelings, that's on me. And you guys got to take responsibility for your feelings and your emotions. If you don't, you will continue to be a victim in this life. You will continue to have misery in this life. And you will continue to sit here and be in anguish and disgruntled. Take responsibility for how you feel. If I call you a bitch, nigga, that's on you, not on me. I called you a bitch, so I didn't get no feeling from that. Now, if you feel a way by me calling you a bitch, well, nigga, deal with it. However you want to deal with it. Remember, it's your feelings. You understand what I'm saying? Me, I choose to deal with it in an intellectual matter. You know what I'm saying? That's why I ask a man, what makes me a bitch? Now, if you can tell me what makes me a bitch, then I can start, logically thinking about if I actually carry around the attributes of being a bitch. See how intellectual that was? Now, I ain't got to get mad at the nigga. I can use my brain on the nigga. Because a nigga that's just sitting there doing that is a dumb motherfucker, and dumbness equates to bitch-like behavior. You reverse the shit on motherfuckers. They can't fuck with you when you become intellectual. You don't have to go down to the levels of low life. A lot of these people only got a certain type of vocabulary, a vocabulary that cannot reach outside of the norm. So they're not thinkers. They're just, zombies walking around in bodies with no energy, thinking that there's something that they're not understanding that everything that they say, everything that they think is actually of somebody else's doing. Because they never thought about sitting behind in their mind and watching the motherfucking shit go across the blue screen before they picked it out and said it and articulated it in a fashion where people can comprehend, like shitting in somebody's mouth. And I'm not trying to actually use that person as an example. I'm just trying to say, you didn't think about it before you said it. So now that you said it, you have to defend it. Well, maybe niggas need to slow down with their words and start thinking before they speak. Because that's the shit that gets most men in trouble, most women in trouble. Not their actions, it'd be their words. Appreciate it. We in this motherfucker, man. I know I didn't take over my own panel, which should be legal. You know what I'm saying? But some people offend. They get offensive.
You
King
speaking
Knowledge, you're
from
taking
real
over
shit
the
though,
panel.
King.
Like, nigga, this is my panel.
It's crazy you say that because I seen a video of Jordan. It was a little kid trying to get an autograph from him, a little black kid. He shooed him off. The little boy had his shoes on. Like, come on,
Yeah,
bro. That's how you treat your own people?
but have you ever been in the spotlight that Michael Jordan's been in, to the point where you
No,
have
I haven't.
numerous kids trying to get an autograph from you and you just tired?
Hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. You got to look at it from a whole perspective. Let's say that you become a famous cook. You're not going to want to cook. You're not going to want to do interviews. You're not going to go into special appearances. You're not going to want to do commercials. You're not going to want to do
Yeah.
everything and then sign all the autographs to all the cooks that come up to you, especially if you got a handicapped cook. You don't got time for that shit. So don't look at them in the moment. Look at them, as a collective. How many
Right.
children's shoes did he sign? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't just let them
Yeah.
point one thing out negative, and now that you look at that man as negative because you saw what they wanted you to see. Fuck what they want you to
Right.
see. See the whole person, not just some of the person. Like Bill Cosby was teaching us how they took African art and then Picasso changed that shit into European art. So what they did was they took the color off the African pieces that Vibrant has on her wall and they changed that into just a white plain piece. This is what they did. And now Picasso is big off of African art. The same thing with Louis Vuitton and all of the actual makeup and the material. They did that shit and all of this shit, bro. They just taking shit off of shit and remixing shit and then actually acting like they creating shit. You can't just go with the story that you see. It's something inside that shit. It's underlying.
That's right.
But Michael Jordan was nobody. Michael Jordan was just like you, Coco. That's your brother. That's your father. That's your uncle. You know what I'm saying? Don't let these people try to make you seem like he's somebody he's not. If given a different opportunity, given a different stage, he probably would have did something different. If he was a Black Panther, would you like him then? See what I'm saying? He went the route that he went. You went the
Right.
route that you went, and I went the route that I went, but we still the same as Black folks.
That's some real shit, King.
Appreciate all y'all coming in here today, man. Gratitude, man. Great conversations about to erupt in this thing. You know what I mean? Appreciate all of y'all. But y'all, what I just said is very deep. I want y'all to understand, like when y'all see people like Tina Turner, you are Tina Turner. That's what I said. When you see the Black Madonna, that's you. All black women are black women. That's why I said when you disrespect one black woman, you disrespect all black women because you got sisters, mothers, you got aunties, you got nieces. Like you cannot call her and she's an auntie, sister, mother. You know what I'm saying? Like they have the same titles of the woman that you have in your life for you to disrespect that title. You cannot call a sister a bitch when you have a sister that's not a bitch. You can't call somebody's mother a bitch when you have a mother that you don't think that's a bitch. And I go back to my original motto. If you was a baby, how would you want your mother treated? If you was
No,
a baby, you could
doesn't.
defend your mother, how would you want her treated? Everybody tell me right now. I want to know if you was a baby and you could and knowing that you can't defend your mother as a baby, how would you want your mother to be treated? You're grown now. You're not a baby, but let's go back to the time that you were a baby and you're going around with your mother. How would you want your mother to be treated? You would probably somebody echoing. Y'all still hear the echo?
Yeah, it's
Hey,
still
number five,
there.
mute.
That's number
Yeah,
five,
Y'all,
number
King.
5.
if y'all not speaking, man, mute yourselves. I know y'all new to the panel, but if you're not speaking or saying anything, mute yourself until you want to say something, and then you can talk. But if not, then I have to remove you from the panel because there's an echo. Okay, I'll give you 5 seconds. Five, four, three, two, one.
Just
Thank
do
you.
it. She's an African. Oh, I was about to say she African. Probably don't
I
understand.
want my mom to be treated with respect and appreciated because my mom, she go out her way for her family, making sure that we stay together and things like
We're
that.
not
So
gonna, but we're not gonna do
anytime,
that. We're not gonna do that though,
okay,
because that was for
okay.
the man. If you
Oh, my bad.
a woman right now, if you're a woman right now, and you had a father that was raising you, how would you want your father to be treated as a woman? As a woman, right now, where you stand at, how would you want your father be treated by another woman and you're a baby looking on? So you're a woman with logical mind. You can think now. You're not a baby no more. You didn't have nothing installed into your mind, but you're a baby that grew into a woman. Now that you're a woman, how would you want your father to be treated as a woman or by a woman? How would you want your father to be treated? Would you want your father to be talked like he was a bitch ass nigga or a hoe ass nigga? Would you want that? Would you want your father to be torn down, talking about he wasn't shit? He can't be shit. He'll never amount to shit. You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck out. How would you want your father to be treated as a baby with the conscious mind of a woman? You would want your father to be treated in a positive light no matter what, because you're a baby. But you have the consciousness of a woman. So you have to keep that in mind for other men, for other fathers, for other brothers, for other uncles, for other cousins, just as much as us men have to keep that in mind for you. That's why I tell you, why would you treat your baby's mother? Why would you treat your baby's father in a way that your baby wouldn't approve of? I mean, it's about the children, right? That's what most of us use as an excuse. So if it's about the children, then why not make it about the children when it comes to the two of you? Instead, that's just an scapegoat. Let me just chill a little bit, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I can get with it, but let me chill a little bit. Just think about what I'm saying. Because what I'm saying, you speak things into existence. So what happens by these words that's coming out of my mouth, and you guys need to talk about it more, your life will formulate to that. You understand? The way that you treat people will change. The way that you come see women again will change. The way that you look at women will change. The way that you look at somebody's mother will change. The way that you see a mother at the park with two of her children will change your outlook on a mother. And the same thing with the woman looking at her father. It will change. It will
But some,
change.
but sometimes people do things to make it change, right?
No. Only thing you have to do is change your perception and you change your reality, fam. You didn't have to do nothing at all, meaning use your hands. Change your perception and you change your reality. If you change your response, you change your reality. You can be like,
But
fuck, it's
okay,
raining outside and I got a flat tire. And I can be
yeah.
like, it must be an accident in front of me for me to get a flat tire in the rain to stop me from continuing to try to. It's about your response to it, your understanding about it. Everything happens the way
That's like the perfect world though. Do you treat everybody with like that? I understand what you're saying though, but do you treat everybody with respect, bro? Everybody
no,
you meet?
no.
All right. All right.
Okay, what are you saying?
I'm saying like, yo, if you're preaching like you treat everybody with respect, but everybody you
I
don't.
didn't say
You know?
anything about somebody treating me with respect. I don't give a fuck if you respect me or disrespect me, nigga. You got to give a fuck about what I do in return and my response to that shit. So we wasn't talking about me. We was talking about baby fathers and baby mothers. But when it comes to me, nigga, you can do whatever you want to do because I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do. So if you choose to disrespect me, nigga, I got a choice. Do I walk away? Do I not disrespect you? Or do I disrespect you? Or do I fucking annihilate you and train you never to disrespect me again? This is different. This is something totally different. We're talking about self now. I was talking about outside of self and dealing with other people, whether it be male or female, fathers and mothers. But we can get on self if you want to.
But I'm
But I'm
saying
a disrespectful
I hear you, but I'm
motherfucker,
saying
and I'm giving you the
if the woman
respect to
if the
let
wo-
you know
I'm
that
s-
I'm
if
disrespectful.
but I'm saying so you're just you're being what's it called? You're being
It's
biased with
called
what you're
probably
saying though.
okay. You would say contradictory or hypocrite,
You're
but that's your
contradicting your own self, bro. You got to when you're talking, you got to make sure you're the one practices what you're teaching, bro. You know
okay.
what I'm saying? You got to practice what you're teaching, bro. You can't be like telling me, okay, you got to respect your mother, respect your father. How you gonna make them feel? And you're not doing it yourself. So what are you just talking? You're just talking about. You're just talking.
Okay. I'm a professional observator. I'm also a pussyologist, private banker. I got a lot of titles. For the first few times that you come in, you want to criticize me and judge me. That's okay. That's fine. I don't mind that. When we're speaking on a topic and we're speaking about something, a mother and father being the title or the label, that's something totally different when you're dealing with self and other people. If a man has a gun to my head, that would be disrespectful. Yeah, I would want him not to put that gun to my head, but he put it to my head because that's what he wanted to do. Now, how the fuck do I tell that man, go back and think about what you done done and stop doing what you're doing? I can't. I don't have control over that motherfucker. Do you understand the level of respect and disrespect? So if a motherfucker disrespect me, I have options. It's 5 of them. I can disrespect you back. I can annihilate you through that disrespect. I can respond by walking away. Or I can respond by being respectful to the disrespectful. Or I can literally sit there and ignore the situation and not even look at it as disrespectful. I can see you as being ignorant. Whatever it wants, I have a response to that. That's dealing with self. Me, what you don't understand, wasn't talking about self. You made it about self, which makes it not contradictory or which makes me not a hypocrite in what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm saying? You changed the whole narrative to the conversation, switched the goddamn focus, and then told me that I was a contradictory individual. Now, if you want to talk about baby mothers and baby fathers and about babies and consciousness, then fuck with us. But when you start talking about a grown man disrespecting another grown man, that's a whole nother conversation. That's a different conversation, bro. That has nothing to do with being hypocritical or being contradictory. It's just a whole another conversation. That's all. Go ahead. I'll
Okay.
listen. Go ahead. But try to listen to me and not go against me so much. If you try to challenge me, I will see it as a challenge and I will start to work. And
No,
by
but
me working, I will start to come
yeah,
at you in a sarcastic manner of wittiness. I will use intellect, and I will use insults in order to actually make that intellect stick. I mean, make that insult stick. So my intellectual abilities will insult you, and everybody will listen to it that has intellect. See, the ignorant shit, the bitch nigga shit, the gay nigga shit, you got fucked in prison and all of that shit. We heard it before. What else can you come up with? And that's when my intellect reigns supreme. Because then I start thinking of different ways to disrespect you without disrespecting you. Now that can be hypocritical or oxymoron or contradictory or whatever you want to call it. But it is what it is, and this is me. Or you could just shut them up. Make their minds so discombobulated to the point where they can't even respond or rebuttal.
You were talking about. Okay, tell me what you were talking about, because I guess maybe I jumped into it. You're talking about showing your father respect and all, everybody respect and all kind of shit, right? Yeah. What happened to? Oh yeah, I got your thing.
You're a father.
Everything.
I respect you being a father because I am also a father. But when we're talking about fatherhood, I couldn't disrespect somebody that's hands-on with a child because we're talking about fatherhood. That would be ignorant of me. And if I'm doing that, that would be evil of me. Because ignorance and evil kind of are like synonymous with one another, because what you do unto another, you're doing unto yourself. So why be evil to another, being ignorant to, you're being evil to yourself. So evil and ignorance are kind of like go hand in hand. If we're dealing with energy and karma being something that you put out opposed to coming back.
True.
Are you at the hospital, number 5?
Why does it matter?
He's at work, I think. That's what I was asking.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So they want to know, is that your child or are you at the hospital? Are you working?
No, this is my child.
Okay. Say no more. Say less.
Yo, my phone is gonna die, guys. I want to be in this conversation, but I gotta get a charger.
Listen, go find the charger and we'll save a spot for you to come back. But I'm going to
Respect.
ask you, please don't talk about your child and whatever you're going through and your personal business,
No,
please.
no, I'm not doing that. No, I don't do that.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
I don't do that. All right.
I appreciate it. I
Respect.
appreciate
All
it.
right.
All right.
Hello. Yeah.
And I will ask you women to do the same thing. Stop giving people ammunition to attack you and then get mad when they attack you. If you was open enough to share your story, then you should be open enough to have your story criticized. That's simple. You understand? You should be open enough to have somebody read your book. I mean, you're out here promoting your book. No matter if you're doing it consciously or subconsciously, you're doing it. So if you promote your book, then make sure that you understand that people are going to read that book. And in reading that book, everybody's going to get a different opinion about the book, about what they read in the book. Mila's going to see something differently than me. Sandy's going to see something differently than Ink. And Ink Goddess and Ink Bars are going to see something differently in themselves, even though that they got ink. I'm just saying, when you think about it, even a commonality is different. Because ain't nothing the same. Now, if you're a Christian, you're ignorant. You're dumb. And I'm saying that in front of 470 people. And it's not to disrespect you, it's the truth. Because it's 2023. And if you don't change now, then what do you think is going to happen? Like everybody's showing you, like you're having everything showing to you. Jesus is no more than the sun in the sky. That's it. It wasn't a person. And if it is a person, it is a white person, because no name of Jesus has ever been given to a black child or a black boy or a black man or a black figure or a black ancestor or anybody black. The name Jesus was applied to a white image that was created by Picasso or Leonardo DiCaprio or fucking Michelangelo. I don't fucking know. But it was never given to somebody black. So when you actually worship Jesus, you are worshiping a white image, a white man, a white mentality, a white overstanding, and everything having to do with the image. Because image is what produces this world, that third eye. Without image, there
Sorry,
is nothing. Go ahead.
sorry
I'm
to
listening.
cut you off, but there's no 475 people. Half of them are bots.
I didn't understand that. Can you please say that one more time, sir?
There's, thank you so much, man. Thank
He
you.
said it's not 470 people in here, it's only bots. That's what it's saying, Nancy.
Okay. If that's what he had to say, then thank you for allowing me to read your book. If everybody understands that, then I understand you. You had nothing to say, but you opened your book, and then what you said was very crucial. You're worried about who's in the room to try to what? Make me feel a certain type of way? You're in the room, and that's all that fucking matters. Don't you get it, dummy? Are you a bot? When did bots start talking? Explain that to me on what bots come up on Bigo to express the bots are in the room. You see what I'm saying? Destroy these niggas intellectually. You don't have to be mean and fucked up. All right, good.
Yeah.
What's up with you? You good? You good? Go ahead. I'm listening to you, sir. Go ahead.
Did you ever visit a Masonic temple?
Uh, yeah, I think so. I ain't even think about it. Yeah, I got the air on.
Yeah, I had dinner once.
How was dinner at the Masonic Temple? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, because they're united. And, people, everyone talks shit about me, but they don't really. They don't
Mm-hmm.
know them. They haven't met them, and that's why I enjoyed it.
Are you Muslim?
There.
Okay. So do you feel closer to Allah since you visit the Masonic Temple?
I never. What was the question?
I said, do you feel closer to Allah now that you visit the Masonic Temple?
Yes, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. 'Cause,